And we're back, people. Deluded, I'm back again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. Bring on Bayern Munich. The day is here. We need to begin our revenge tour against a lot of teams. I want Bayern Munich's blood. I'm going out there with the strongest team. I know about the repercussions. Yes, I'm happy that we won the North London derby. As they say again, say hello to Elise and tell him if he wants to leave Bayern and, you know, test himself again in the Premier League, we'll be more than happy to have him. But yeah, we've got Bayern Munich today. Obviously, with the silly seasons beginning, we're being linked with Mateta, Vinicius Jr. And to be honest with you, Rodrigo Mendoza for £7.5 million, I believe. That's the fee being quoted for the talented 20-year-old Spanish midfielder at Elche. I mean, he's a right-footed left centre mid. I will get a tactical video out there. But yeah, man, make sure you're smashing the like button. You're getting your comments in and all of that good sort of stuff. And at 2 p.m, I've got a menu. So yeah, man. Big up DG. Ain't staying because my team have shamed me into hiding. Big up the nation. Catch you Saturday. All right, Riley, big up yourself, man. It's cool, man. You pick good content creators, not good football teams to support, man. Spurs got put in a spliff, but when did they not, man? Afternoon, my boy, afternoon. Deluded, how are you, man? We need to beat Bayern today. We need to beat Bayern today because we need to build up momentum. Mikel Arteta keeps speaking about momentum. And obviously we drew against Sunderland. We won in the North London derby, individually and collectively we shined. If you get that, maybe not so much these players, but that monkey off your back of finally beating Bayern Munich, like Mikel Arteta was part of the playing staff when we used to get beaten up by them. You beat them up. You've got all the optimism going into the Chelsea game at the weekend where they beat Barca yesterday. Shout out to you, and watch along. And it's a weird one because I do fear Bayern. I think people need to look at the connotations around fear. Fear doesn't mean you're necessarily scared. And you could argue if you're not fearful or scared, you're in trouble. You should never underestimate anyone. We know about their quality. I think they've got 17 wins in 18 games. They're formed domestically and internationally. In these competitions, it's impeccable. It's literally a top of the table Champions League clash between the two sides. They do concede a lot from set pieces. I know Magalhaes ain't there, but there could be that. Both good systemic systems and high pressing and all that jazz. Our home form is impeccable. Hope the atmosphere that was displayed at the Emirates in the North London derby is also displayed today. And it's one of those, man, where this is what obviously we want to win the Champions League and win multiple competitions, but this is the realm we wanted to be in. We're not that far removed from, we didn't even know about the Champions League. Now, if I look at Bayern Munich, they've had our number for a number of years, isn't it? And then also on top of that, the last time we played them, Mikel Arteta, this is your third, fourth year in the Champions League, maybe even your third year managing as a manager in the Champions League. You got to a quarters, you got to a semis. Can we go one better? So it'd be interesting to see, man. I think out of our last 15 home games in the champs, we've kept 12 clean sheets. So you do get the vibes that it's a formidable defense in Arsenal against a free-flowing attacking Bayern Munich. You sprinkle in the Elise versus Eze factor, Elise versus either Calafiori or Miles Lewis-Skelly. Obviously, you've got Harry Kane to throw into it. So it's going to be, and you could say Gnabry if he's there. It's going to be an interesting one, man. It really is going to be an interesting game. And, the players have to relish it. These are the games you wanted to play when you was growing up. These are the games you have to make the difference. If we approach the game, well, we're going to be pushed to our limits a lot more than we was in the North London derby, innit? But if we approach the game how I believe the boys did, in that everybody focus on themselves individually, win your individual battles, naturally, the collective takes care of itself, man. I'm on it, man. Like, these are the games you want to play in, and I know I want to go beyond just having great nights out. We've beat Bayern Munich at the Emirates. We've beat Barcelona. We've beat Real Madrid. There's been plenty of those, but we've never topped it off with a Premier League or a Champions League under this manager and this current regime. But I do want to look at that. I remember a few years ago, Celtic against Barcelona in Scotland. It was a great night for their fans. And that's what we need to do, man, really and truly. I'm not one, I don't, with some of the statistics I've wheeled off and some of the things you don't know about Bayern Munich, it's not that it's not illogical to talk about rest, but you've got one of the best performing sides, two of the best performing sides playing each other, focusing on Bayern Munich. You can't be talking to me about taking out Timber and putting in Ben White. If Ben White was fit and flowing and he was the best version of Ben White that we know, then of course that's another scenario. The best team available goes out there, get the job done. Tomorrow's problems are tomorrow's problems, innit? And that being Chelsea, innit? So yeah, Bless up yourself. Appreciate you in the building. This is the channel, ladies and gents. Appreciate you, Box. Appreciate you, Edward. Appreciate you, Big S. Appreciate you, Rob. Appreciate you. These players complain just to get an improved contract. Naturally, it does feel. Well, I'm not a Real Madrid fan, but their ambitions of winning trophies is still alive. You read certain rumors, you see, oh yeah, they're starting to, like, the players are starting to turn on Xabi Alonso. Apparently Vinicius is at loggerheads owing to his new contract and Xabi Alonso. There's even rumors of him being sacked, or the decision makers at Real Madrid half want to get him gone because of the unhappy camp. Other people want to keep him. And like you said there, man, a smart journalist is going to seal this and have the assumption that 2 + 2 = 100, isn't it, really and truly? I mean, it'd be nice to get Vinicius Jr. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it wrong. I know people talk about attitude problems and all that jazz, but, bro, is he a good footballer? Yes, he's world-class. Imagine him on the left-hand side with your Sakas and your Ezes and your Odegaards, and, pardon me, and your Yokerezes and everything else, if I'm honest with you. And I will say this. What player is it? We don't even, there could be difficult players in the Arsenal team. It's just Arteta's managed to get a trick out of them. 9 times out of 10, these mavericky players and these good players, yeah, who isn't difficult to deal with? Cantona is difficult to deal with. Ray Rooney, Roy Keane, Cristiano Ronaldo, if you want to just look at Manchester United, Diego Costa at Chelsea, Hazard, maybe not so much in terms of attitude, but, exceptions to the rule. Clearly, if you're Jose or Conte, whoever Hazard played under at Chelsea, and you're in training, if it's known that some of these players are terrible trainers, for example. If that's any other player apart from Kai Havertz, Eden Hazard, you're going to go mad. But you know what Eden Hazard can do, so you're going to cut him some slack. Even Tarat, when he was at QPR, if you listen to Neil Warnock, Vieira was difficult to deal with. Bergkamp was difficult to deal with. Adams and Ian Wright and Thierry Henry, and the list goes on, man. The list goes on. But Vinicius, Saka, and Gyökeres would be a scary sight, man. You know what we say on the platform, though? The dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. And as you said here, my boy, Vinicius Jr. would be a 6 signing for Arsenal. Just don't think it will happen. So if nothing more, smash the like button. It provides a great bit of talking points for us. So now if I share my screen with you lot, it's nice to be top of the table, allegedly. I don't look at the league table where the Premier League is concerned. We've got a 6-point gap. Ironically, Bayern Munich also have the same. That could be extended if we do what we need to do against the team in second place. It's tough, man. Man United, boy, Man United ahead of Liverpool and Everton ahead of Liverpool. Dang. Still early in the season, but we switch our attentions to the Champions League. And if the boys and the club and the fans didn't need any more motivation, look, they're buying us, didn't need any more motivation, look at this. How many times do you see Arsenal with 3 points here? It's dark. I still remember the 2013 and 2015 games. But other than that, they've had our number. Go out there and prove them wrong. What's this article saying? What's this? Sorry, folks. Getting an alert from YouTube. Want to make sure everything is great. Okay. Arsenal face biggest test yet without Gabriel after injury setback. Gunners without their leader as rivals renewed with terrorizer-in-chief Harry Kane. Obviously, we'd love to have Gabriel Magalhaes involved, but not just Arsenal. Many a team have pulled off a standout result without their strongest team. When we beat City 5-1 and last season against Real Madrid, that was not the best 11 on paper. Clearly, I would like to have Gabriel Magalhaes against Harry Kane. Clearly, the manager would, you lot would, the players will. End of the day, step up and Hincapié, prior to, your performance in the North London derby, you had about 20-odd minutes in the Premier League. When Gabriel Magalhaes is fit, for me, he's back in the team, but I don't want it to be as straightforward as that. And for you yourself, Leverkusen did well against City. I'm sure, they'd love you lot to do a favor against, Bayern Munich. I'm sure you'll be up for it owing to that sort of stuff. So get it done, man. If Mikel Arteta is wondering what life without Gabriel may be like for Arsenal, then tonight's meeting with Bayern Munich should give him the answer. Really? Are we forgetting that this is Gabriel Magalhaes' second big injury in 2025? But nonetheless, Spurs had two shots on target all game and a grand total of 4 touches inside the Arsenal penalty area. Horrible. Bayern Munich, quite to be fair, rightly so, will be a completely different proposition, and there's no chance they will produce such a toothless show. And never say never. As I said, they've won 17 of their opening 18 games in all comps with 1 draw. With that, they're top of the Champions League. They do have an 100% record. They sit ahead of us because they've scored more goals. So again, they're in form. As I said earlier, they're a free-flowing outfit. It's a free-flowing Bayern Munich attack against a formidable, damaged, but formidable Arsenal defense. And you factor in how both managers approach the midfield, it's going to be decent. Completely off topic. Obviously, I want to win, but I'm keen to see Lenneth Carl, I believe, the 17-year-old, doing quite well at Bayern. Consistency in results, performances in every metric. It's very, very impressive. That's been the theme of Bayern season, and tonight's game could easily be billed as the best attack in Europe versus its best defense. Arsenal are yet to concede in the Champions League. That's probably going to end today, but as I said, formidable defense against a free-flowing attack, and have faced just 7 shots on target in their 4 games. Now, every Arsenal fan, every football fan, I hope I'm wrong and we're all wrong. It's not going to be like that. Them statistics are going to take a hit in it. As long as you get the 3 points, who cares? And it'd be lovely to get 3 points against Bayern, do what we need to do against Club Brugge. Then you can talk about resting players. Deluded going to the game, think we'll win 3-0. Honestly, I hope so. I hope so. I'll be shocked, honestly, if Bayern don't score. In many ways, it feels like it could be a 4-goal thriller, but it also feels like a sneaky 1-0 job each way. I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal. I expect Harry Kane to score. And I just don't want to make it about Harry Kane. They got Elise, they're littered with talent, innit? Vinny is perfect for our left-hand side. Gabriel out. I'm not shook. I've seen enough of him. Capier, I hear it. And end of the day, what we've got is what we've got. Who's available is who's available. It's always the ones that are not involved. And I will say this. I know it's different because we beat PSG in the league phase last year. And obviously in the knockout stages, when teams are in a different moment and it's crunch time, we didn't. But we've got, unfortunately, a long negative history of Bayern Munich in this Emirates era, we can call it, people. For the players, I know a lot of you weren't there, but Saka was there. The Gaffer was there. Gabriel, who's not fit, was there. Martinelli was there. I'll be honest. I think at the Emirates when we played Bayern Munich a few years ago, you man were on it. We should have had a penalty. Obviously, Kivior effed up, and he's not alone. He effed up. But I think at the Emirates, it was great. Now, I know it's not away from home, but I genuinely think we got a bit of stage fright at their place. We need to start going into games like this, believing we can compete, which I do think the players do. I do think we've earned that right. We're not sitting here saying we're going to smack up Bayern Munich and move to them. Listen, the Bayern Munichs, the Real Madrids, those teams that have done what they've done in Europe, we can't talk to them. But in terms of competing 11 men against 11 men, there's things that we have to mitigate against with Bayern Munich. But equally, it's not like we're rocking up with what we used to in the early Emirates. So we're a decent team, great defensively, able to score some goals. Hopefully, Eze does a madness today. You know, if it feels, well, to be fair, North London derby, it probably don't get bigger than that for an Arsenal man. But if you carry that form into today, you're laughing. And I need my attackers. I'd love to have had Gyökeres available. I'd imagine it's the same starting 11. I do wonder if he's going to take Calafiori out and go with Miles Lewis-Skelly. And I do wonder generally who on paper would you lot say is like the best to kind of deal with Elise, if that makes sense. I imagine both teams are going to pack out and stink out the midfield. Both teams obviously going to press well. There's a high line. There's all that jazz. We know Harry Kane's got 15 goals in 21 appearances. Jurien Timber said, Kane is an amazing striker. Everybody knows that. He's been doing it for such a long time already. And now at Bayern Munich, he has been one of the best players in the world. So it's going to be a nice challenge for us as a team, as defenders, to stop him. Arteta did call Gabriel a leader. We know about that. And again, there's no Musiala, but we know they can call on the likes of Leonard Carl, who I just mentioned. Diaz is out, but they do have Musiala, former Arsenal man, Gnabry, and Elise. It's a quality team. I do want to ask questions of that defense. I don't really rate Upamecano like that. Go and ask some questions. Do you lot reckon Martinelli or Madueke start? Either, you know, you could say Madueke on the right, Martinelli on the left. You could say one of the two. I'm just simply asking you, lot, do you go with that? I don't know. Odegaard's been in training. Arteta seems a bit more bullish on Gabriel Jesus in that he has a couple of behind closed doors friendlies involved. I don't think any of the injured players will start today. I think it's the same 11 against Spurs, but a part of me feels, does he take a gamble on Odegaard, put Eze left wing and Trossard up front? I'm not really down for moving too many parts in our team on top of obviously Magalhaes. But if you do that and it works, you're great. If you do that and it goes left, you're in issues. The same way with the starting 11, innit? It is what it is. I did cover this yesterday, but if you've been living under a rock, Arteta did speak about Kai Havertz and Gyökeres, folks. He said, really good, both of them. In the next few days, they're going to have a repeat scan to see how everything is and where we can push them for the weekend. So they're not involved today, people. On Martinelli, Madueke, and Odegaard, they, in brackets, Martinelli and Madueke, are available, and we're going to have a meeting now to decide on Odegaard. To be fair, they were on the bench against Spurs with Madueke coming off it. He was very close for the previous game, so we're hopeful that tomorrow he will be in the squad as well. So there might be Odegaard available, but we've also seen Mikel Arteta make you believe players are going to return, then they're not in the squad. Make you believe they're not about and they're never going to return, and then they're back in the squad. with I guess all managers, but I guess with Mikel Arteta, I'm of the belief of an hour before kickoff, whoever's on that bench, whoever's in the starting 11, that's what we're working within it, and all the other talking points will take shape. So we're slowly but surely getting 1-2 players back, ideally against Chelsea, and who we got after Chelsea, Brentford next Wednesday, a week today. We can call on the Odegaards, the Martinellis, the Maduekes, maybe even the Yokerezes. No clue on Kai Havertz. I know Julian Nagelsmann said he suffered a bit of a setback, but there's been a bit of radio silence, if I'm even honest with you. I know he's touched on Kai, but he normally goes into specifics when Kai's out. But yeah. So yeah, man. And finally, he said, well, we have to look at the individuals and make sure they are ready. If it's to start a game like this, and the second one for how long they can play, we need to be very mindful as well of how many of those players we put on that pitch, because most of them are not going to be able to finish 90 minutes. So we need to be conscious about the subs that we use, how we're going to use them, and the windows that we have. In order to be very efficient with our decision making throughout the game, we'll plan in that regard. So that tells me, obviously, the game dictates, but Timber might not have 90 minutes. Calafiori or Miles Lewis-Skelly, for different reasons, might not have 90 minutes. Potentially Hincapié and maybe even Saliba might not have 90 minutes. Declan Rice, Zubamendi might not have 90 minutes. Eze's played a lot of football, low-key. So that you might be seeing that as, the Odegaards, the Martinellis, the Maduekes, they got, half an hour if they're fit? I don't know. Me personally, I wouldn't rotate massively. Maybe Skelly, but that's about it. I want to make a statement tonight. The squad picks itself, innit? So I don't really feel there's scope for rotation. And really and truly, what rotations are you making? Because I'm kind of with you. Raya, you're going to go, obviously. Stay on your line. Saliba, Hincapié, Timber starts for me. Miles Lewis-Skelly, Calafiori always say I don't really care. Miles Lewis-Skelly's equipped himself at this level against PSG and Real Madrid. So you can say he's the best man for Elise. Calafiori's slightly more experienced, bought for big money. Obviously not putting a foot wrong. Depends on what Arteta wants to do. No qualms there, but that would probably be it for me. Trossard has to start left wing if we're not gonna try anything and put him up front. So that means you're gonna have to play Mikel Merino through the middle. We all know, well, you need Saka has to start. Eze picks himself, Rice picks himself, Zubamendi, less of what you did against Spurs, but you pick yourself. But hey, so yeah, man. I'd rotate out Hincapié. I don't think he's fit enough to play 3 games a week, and I want him versus Chelsea. I hear you, but I think he's good to go, man. You can play, man. You got at least 60 to 70 minutes. We play today, recovery session Thursday, tomorrow, Friday back in training, Saturday maybe back in training. Bro, you get 60 to 90 minutes. You'll be good, man. There's a couple days ready to rest, and then obviously we play on Sunday. Can get away with it today. The Chelsea game, and you're right, it's like a backlog because we've had a lot of football. Some of these players are playing on injury / returning from injury / in red zones or beyond that. Obviously, we've got 3 games this week. I must admit, it's like a totting up process because provided we beat Chelsea, thank the Lord, hopefully we do. Now, after that Chelsea game is where I start to think, Brentford, do you go with Hincapié? What's going on? Hincapié knows Bayern as well. I'd imagine Arteta knows Bayern, but there's always a bit of that energy in it. You're playing one of them teams. There's always a bit more in it. Big up DG, big up yourself and everyone. We're winning today. City B team got spanked. That kid Mazza from Bayern is a baller. But we're going to see, man. Smash the likes, man. Maybe Martinelli for Trossard to give him a rest. But what we resting Duns for? Beyond the obvious, what we resting guys for? I don't want to sound cringe. And we definitely, football fans, let alone Arsenal fans, have definitely said this when we played Liverpool, when we played City. Some of them said it against Spurs. This is the biggest game of Arsenal's season and things like that. Genuinely, it is. We know this is not playing Bayern Munich in a final and it's a league phase and both teams got a comfortable cushion. They're excelling collectively and individually with both clubs. Both teams are doing their thing domestically and obviously in this European competition. But I'm sorry. It's Bayern Munich for one. It's Bayern Munich in a great moment. They're above us in the table on goal difference. So they're playing to our level. You look around at their qualities of their teams. It's one of those weird games where actually this week, Pep Guardiola, when he's done with City, he must be looking at what's going on in football like a proud dad because, we've got Maresca on the weekend who, like Arteta, worked with Pep. Today, you've got company against Arteta. They're disciples of Pep football. We know they're going to gamble it with high lines. They're going to press well. They're going to be a bit stubborn to their principles. Bro, rest who? Rest where? For what? And I know people will say, oh, my days, and I hear it. We're on a good moment. We're probably going to get through in the league phase, but don't draw yourselves out. We probably, regardless of what goes down, worst case scenario, we lose. We still go through in the league phase, but forget that. Because Club Brugge away is not easy. The only game I'm looking at is when we play Pafos, where I think David Luiz plays over there. Until it's mathematically confirmed that we're through, that's the mentality we have to have. And rightly or wrongly, Mikel Arteta, trying to read between the lines, he keeps speaking about building momentum. How do you do that? By the team playing together, getting up to speed, winning games. So for me, let's go strong. I don't think there's a need to rotate. I definitely think there's a need to, when the time comes, this one's looking a bit spent, get him off the pitch. This one might not be fit enough to start, but he might be able to give you half an hour. This one's got an hour in him. This one's got 75. You get where I'm going. And what a full circle moment, man. Big up Crystal Palace, man. Elise and Eze, they're doing them well, man. They're doing them well. Harry Kane's never been shy to not speak about Arsenal. He said it's always a big moment when I was at Tottenham, the North London derby, but it's not about me and Arsenal, but Bayern and Arsenal. I'm in good form, and it's just about helping my team and scoring goals. Fair play. Pardon me, on getting released by Arsenal, one of our best talents. Bring him home as well, like Eze. I was there for a couple of years and got released. It's all part and parcel of the journey of football. That was 20 years ago, a long time ago. We've moved on a long way since then. It's a very familiar territory for me. Having played for Tottenham for so long, it adds a bit more to the game. And this is horrible because who do you see there? Serge Gnabry. But this is what we wanted to be in. We're gonna circle back on that whole Vinicius stuff and Mateta stuff, people. We're gonna go back over the transfer stuff in a moment, people. But take no stock in that. Don't mind me. I was just reading this early this morning with Podolski, having played for Bayern and Arsenal. I wonder what he's doing. Arsenal unbeaten in 15 games in all comps, and I've won 13 of those. We've beaten Atletico Madrid, Bilbao, and Olympiacos in the Champions League so far, taking maximum points, keeping clean sheets. It's going to be an interesting one, man. It's going to be an interesting one. I'm going 2-1 Arsenal. Eze and Elise both to score. Their season so far, once again, we know how good they're doing. 9 straight wins saw Bayern come out stomping of the Bundesliga traps to leave their rivals in the dust. Okay. Previous meetings, we have faced Bayern competitively 14 times in our history, all of which have come in the Champions League. Obviously, the first meeting was in December 2000 when we were pegged back from 2-0 ahead to a 2-2 draw in the second group stage before losing in March 2000 in Munich. Bayern have knocked us out of the competition on 5 occasions, 4 of which came in the last 16 stage. The first in 04-05, when despite a 1-0 win at Highbury, we lost 3-2 on aggregate. A 2-0 success at the Allianz Arena wasn't enough to overcome a 3-1 loss in 2013, while we also bowed out to the Germans in 2014 and 17. Our last meeting did come in 2013-14, where again we lost. Our other meetings came in the group stages in 2015-16 when we won 2-0 at the Emirates, thanks to Giroud and Ozil. Boy, the third and last time we beat Bayern. So go and win a 4th time today then, innit? Shout out Elise and Eze. I read this and big up Elise because when Saka got that long-term injury, he reached out and said, just encouraging words of support. We won't have straight stage fright anymore. I hear that. When we played Bayern that first time, that was our biggest game in ages. We had bigger games than that now. So yeah, I hope we are seasoned. We're moving to them. I don't care. 2-0 or 3-1, says Manny. Big up the chat and big up DG. Massive day today. You're right, my friend. Eze will make Elise look like a frustrated kid. I'm not going to lie. Elise is wavy. Elise is better than Eze, but Eze's our boy. They're both living the dream, innit? They're both living the dream. I'd love to know Crystal Palace. Do you rate Zaha above Elise and Eze? Is Eze the one? I don't know what I'm trying to get at, if I'm honest. I think he did. Big up yourself, S and K. Eze Elise derby going to be a barn burner. We saying DJ, apparently Elise has a release clause in the summer according to Bayern space. Yeah, but players can have a release clause. Does he want to leave? Does he want to join us? What's his favorite position? Well, obviously you've got Saka. Big up Leandro Trossard, man. I'm pushing the agendas, man. You have to give Trossard his credit, people. He's got Arsenal up and running in the North London derby, having scored the winner in the one before. And while Eze stole the headlines with his stunning hat-trick against Spurs, the importance of another big goal by Leandro Trossard cannot be understated. November has been a fruitful month for the Belgium international, who has at least a goal or an assist in every Gunners game this month to lead Arsenal's goal involvements in numbers for the campaign. 2 goals and 3 assists in his last 4. He's made that left-hand side his own, people, and it happens to be his, man. And he's a disrespected, man. I reckon Trossard goes down as a cult hero if we win stuff. Modern day Freddie Lundberg, obviously he's not in that realm, but you get the point. He's a big game player, whether it's super sub, whether it's starting like at the moment, he's doing his thing. Most appearances for Arsenal, Since Leandro Trossard's debut, he's played 137 times. Gabriel Magalhaes has 129, and then you've got Saliba, Martinelli, Odegaard, Rice, and then obviously Saka. Got to give him his credit. And he seems to be bagging a lot more. Then let's be honest, that left wing's open season. If it was up to me, we'd have brought in a left winger in the summer. We'd definitely bring in one in Jan. I did want to keep Trossard and Martinelli, but it's open season. At this moment in time, Trossard's taking his opportunities and ran with it. But there's a bunch of players. Prior to the North London derby, a lot of people saying, oh, when Odegaard comes back, you can see why he's in the lineup. Eze's a left winger. So Eze's one. Trossard's one. Martinelli's one. If Madueke is not going to start on the right, he's an option on the left. For fit Gabriel Jesus, you imagine he'll deputize across the front three. But that's another one. And there's probably some more examples. But for me, I think there's a bunch of players that are good, that can do a thing, that give us options. There isn't anyone I put my hat on for 30, 38 games in the Premier League. So I feel a left wing is needed. But yeah, big up Trossard. He's taking his spot. He's one of our best players at this moment in time. Full stop. Screamer against Sunderland. Anytime anyone bags in the North London derby, we love it. And also his involvement. His involvement in particular for Eze's goal, really. Well, two of Eze's goals, but the first one, big up Trossard, man. Shout out Calafiori. Because ironically, this feels like the one season we ain't so far. We haven't said, oh, we're looking a bit lopsided at the moment. Timber and Saka are doing what's needed to be done. Trossard and Calafiori are excelling individually and then collectively with that relationship. Declan Rice has gone up the gears. That left-hand side is taking care of its own. Arsenal are not in full form yet, people, which is scary for everyone. That's not an Arsenal, man. No need to rest players. It's all about momentum. Martinelli, Noni, and Odegaard on the bench to get minutes if need be. We need to go to France and get a winger, especially since Cava manager just joined our staff. Look at City rotated and got slapped. Pep said he regretted it in the post-match. Yeah, but to be honest, I don't think even the Arsenal fans that want rotation, I don't think they're asking for like 10 changes in it. That was madness. Overthinking. We walked that Spurs game. I think we should have enough in the tank to go with guns blazing. True. Guys, it's November. Why are we resting? In December, we can rotate. Bless Rayman. What I fear about the injury gods, just when our players start getting informed, something seems to happen. Hope everything goes well. That seems to be the case, man, but that seems to be life, man. Big up Revolutionary Pot as well. Another win would be great, but draw is quite all right. Wouldn't die if we got a draw. Want to win, puff out a bit of chest, momentum. We're still on cloud 9 after Eze doing what he's doing in the North London derby. Want to be on cloud 9.0 and whatnot. Even more optimism going into Chelsea. But our point, share of the spoils, can maneuver. Like if you were to beat Spurs, beat Chelsea, and draw with Bayern, the only thing better than that is obviously winning all the games, isn't it? So yeah, man, it's easier said than done. But I'm not with the rotating thing today. Trossard and Marino might be jarring, but when they're on it, they are game winners. Yeah, thought it would be Zaha, Kev, what a player. But hey, shout out Marcel, man. Make sure you lot win. First would be Zaha. Second is a free Gurhi. 4 Elise, love from Palace. I hear it. You know what? Fair play on the list, man. Big up yourself, Kev, man. Early subs, 65th minute. True. Signing Trossard above Mudryk might be the best decision in the history of the game. It might be. You never know, yeah? If Mudryk signed for us, he could have really looked like the Ukrainian Neymar and been doing the madness, and he might not have had all the stuff that he's got. And is he even still kicking balls? Is he banned? But where you were prepared to commit 70 million, where I must admit, Mikel Arteta and Edu, you know more about football than me. You done your scouting, but from how it's played out, hindsight's a wonderful thing. That would have been a waste of significant funds. And I think it's interesting because wasn't that when we went for Mudryk and ultimately ended up with Trossard, that was like Martinelli's significant season type of thing. And you'd imagine Mudryk can play. Well, I believe he could have played in a number of positions in the front four. You'd imagine the left wing thing would have been him. Elise is not better than Eze, 2 different players. A big test for our back four to win this one would be a huge boost to our side. Even if we concede what we do beyond that, we'll have to see. Eze brought the trophy. His legend might be the tallest after all when the dust settles. Seeing a video on Palace fans see Zaha as their GOAT, then Eze because he brought them the trophy, but they said Elise has the highest ability. Yeah, man. I think Elise's got that. Elise only wants City or Liverpool. You reckon he wants Liverpool, yeah? To be fair, KJ, you know what? Elise, you could play with the Lavias, the Jude Bellinghams, the Chouamenis, the Trent Alexander-Arnolds, the Lister Zubamendis, the Gurhis. It's quite a good team over there. Swear down, KJ, you got his number. Swear down, you got his number. How do you know this? Arsenal are never going to be in for Elise, but how do you know this? Or you just only remembering the articles that gas up the thing? How do you know? How do you know he only wants that? Come on, Bayern. Kane will bag a brace 3-2. Bayern. Liverpool focus. Marcel focus. Marcel's got a bit of prep on his shep. His KJ's here. KJ, you're probably older than KJ, but KJ is your big bro because he's never ran. I can't respect you. You are literally the living, breathing definition of everything that Liverpool is not meant to be. You ran. But I'm not replying to Marcel for the rest of the live stream. In fact, for the rest of this week. Great as always, DG. Appreciate you. For the first time ever, it doesn't matter who's in the lineup. The team is so complete. Obviously, it'd be nice to have everyone available, but any lineup will be competitive. Noosa from Norway is a good option for left wing. I think we should consider him. I hear it. His price tag is going up every day, though. Rotate the players that have an injury record. Really that simple. Can't have Calla play loads of games. He'll go down, we all know. Calla, you're eligible to play. Even if Calla Fury starts, Miles Lewis Skelly will get minutes. If Lewis Skelly starts, Calla Fury get minutes. I hear that, and you're not wrong, but I don't want rest for resting's sake. Like, if he's in the red zone and all that stuff, then granted, do all of that stuff in it. But no, we do need to box clever. December thing, Brentford and all that, we can talk about that. This is the 3 biggest games of the season so far, but strongest team out there. I hear what you're saying about competition and competitiveness and complete squad. Strongest team out there, momentum, and the team for this large parts of the season, the team has been picking itself. I don't want rotation for sake of rotation. Like, I won't cry. I'm exaggerating with this example, people. Sorry, just grab my water. I'm exaggerating with this. I won't cry if you see Odegaard start, Martinelli start, Madueke start, Ben White come in for Timber, Miles Lewis Skelly instead of Calla Fury, Mosquera and Hincapié in Mosquera in place of Saliba. There'll be no problems. But you will see a team that looks disjointed. You will see a team where some players got ring rush. You will see players still trying to feel their way out. So I'm not on this mass rotation. Fair enough, with the greatest of respect. If we had Paphos at home today, that would have been brilliant. It would have been brilliant to have Paphos, North London derby, Paphos, Chelsea the weekend, then Bayern next week. This is where you could have done all of that. Unfortunately, we've got the best performing team in Europe at this moment in time. The table speaks for itself, and we're going to have to go out there with the best team. Sadiq, appreciate you. Guys are acting like it's the League Cup. This is Bayern in the champs, play the strongest team. Elise only wants Liverpool City, no evidence. Also, people forget City were treble winners and went with 90 million bid for Declan. Zubimendi rejected Liverpool. We can compete with them for top players. Yeah, but if Elise was a left winger, like his strongest position was on the left, I'd give more scope to it. It'd be interesting to see where Elise ends up, because if I was a Liverpool fan, I'd be begging my club, because Salah's not going to be there forever, innit? That's the thing right there, really. City is City. Pep is Pep. They're always going to be able to do that. You never know. Who says he wants to come back to England? Because hot topic, I know he's English and he was eligible for a lot of countries, and I know they got players, but you could see Elise rocking up at PSG. You can't even rule out Real Madrid. A player like Elise, if and when the time comes, which I don't think is at least for the next couple of years at Bayern, pick of the clubs. I'd love Arsenal to throw their hat in the ring. Who wouldn't want Elise? But it just don't make sense. It's not going to fit in. But Elise is a quality player. Hopefully he doesn't show it today. Yeah, KJ, tell your little bro, calm down, man. He hasn't earned the right, man. You weren't frontline, bro. You weren't frontline, man. You weren't frontline, man. You wasn't frontline. You wasn't. Your team's been back. Listen, I'm not even trying to take the piss about Liverpool at this moment, yeah. But we've seen your team lose about 6, 7, 8 games, and we've taken the piss at any given opportunity on this platform. So there's been 7, 8 games, yeah. Let's just say it's 8, 7 times you ran away, and you want me to praise you for standing up to be counted once? Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm not going to praise my boy who gets turfed by Bear Gal. He finally got one's number. You should be doing that. What's going on? What's going on, Marcel? Let's say that, man. Let's say that. City pulled out of the vert, still said it was too expensive and got jerky. This is a free hit for us. They don't expect much from us. Nah, bro. There's no free hits. No free hits. I see what you mean, and I get your angle, but no free. I'm not on that. No free hits. Go out and fucking enjoy it. You're playing Bayern Munich. This is first world problems now. There was a time we didn't even know it was a guarantee we're going to be in this competition. And now we've got no divine right. I probably have Bayern as the slight favourites, but we can be competitive. There's a feeling that we're not going to get embarrassed. The game could go either way. Go relish it. If you're meant to be a good defender in the Premier League and for my club, you're playing against some of the best attackers that football can offer right now. Go and show that. And the same goes for our attackers. Go and show that. Enjoy it. Life is short. A career is short. We're going to die one day. If you make a mistake and lose, so what? Go and enjoy it. Fans, bring your shin pads, bring your boots, bring that atmosphere, bring the T-phone, not the one from PSG, the one that was there in the North London derby, and let's fucking go for it. I want to play now, man. Feel like I'm up for it. Arteta, bring me to the coaching staff. Now, Marcel, DG bigs me up all the time for being frontline, and even when we lose. Exactly. I'll give you your flowers. You're a worthy adversary, Marcel. Because one thing about banter, like, I know when Arsenal take an L, God forbid it's not today. Do you know how much people have been atting on Twitter? The most I've been doing in my group chats. You lot that follow me on Instagram, Deluded Gooner 04. You see me sending shots. I've loved this game week. Liverpool pack, City pack, Spurs pack. By Man United saving the best till last, lost to 10-man Everton. I know if I'm chatting shit, it's gonna come back at me, but I'm prepared for that. I don't rate people that can give it but not take it. This is football. Sometimes very good, sometimes very shit. This is the life we live, man. Okay, appreciate you, man. So yeah, man. Man said Mudrik was taking compound fee. Forever will be frontline. Come on. Nah, you haven't been here bare times, bro. You haven't been here bare times. Stop, Marcel. Because Liverpool ain't been losing games like prior to this year. When have we really seen Liverpool be losing games like that? Allow it. The players want to play these games. You're right, DG. Exactly, man. And well, we ain't really got many German players to pick from. And I want to win. I know it's childish, yeah, but I want to win because Bayern Munich are doing too much on social media, man. They're doing too much. They're reopening too many old wounds that I thought they did heal. And you know what? I said it. I've said it yesterday. I mean, wounds heal, yeah, but you never forget the taste of certain tears. The way you've been onto Errol and Roms is disgusting. Big up Errol. Errol, the Bullets ain't got no name for it, man. Like I don't even know. Like, he just calls me Arkid. You know, I'm not. You know what? I ain't beefing Black Dons that are 30 plus with kids that got long hair and they got Liverpool accents. They're clearly diabolical in it. But big up Errol. But I see the sneak dissing. The thing about me, I will see the Arsenal sneak disses and I'll bookmark it. When the time comes, the time comes. And Roms, he's on too much. Bro, you're lying, fam, but it's cool. You're acting like I only started following your channel this season. Marcel, nah, you're a good supporter. That's why you're a mod. We rate you for that. But you ain't been here frontline when Liverpool have been losing, bro. There's even been a couple games where we've been watching Liverpool. They concede, you bust out, they come back from behind, you come back. It's cool, bro. Be yourself. You're our favorite nitty. We love you, man. Hey, I even got £1 for you, man. I got £1 for you. Don't watch that, man. It's all serious. And plus, yeah, man, forever will be frontline. Amen. Arsenal should go strong, please. We should not rest any players. It's high time other clubs start respecting us based on how we trash teams like the good old days. I want this Champions League, man. I do think the boys, because of what the last 3 years and 4, if you include this year, what we've been doing in the Premier League and ultimately coming short, I think psychologically to get that monkey off their back to finally achieve a goal, I think they need the Prem more. And it'd be interesting, like away from all of that kind of stuff, if you offered the Prem or the champs to the manager and the players, what would they say? Do the foreign boys, yeah, it'd be nice to win the Premier League and win the Prem, but it don't matter if you grew up in Italy, Mexico, Ecuador, you get where I'm going, Spain, Champions League is Champions League. Like, it's the biggest thing. Maybe the British lads more think Premier League. I want the champs in it. We're probably the biggest team not to have won it. We are. I've seen PSG win it now. I've seen City win it. City gets 2 finals. I've seen Chelsea do it on a Bandulu. Seen Liverpool actually fair play, like fairy tale stuff, come from 3 goals down. I know the footballing gods are never going to bless us like that. We're not going to do the movie thing. We're going to need to be perfect. And you know what? Last season, as much as I feel the club done the players dirty with the shoddy recruitment, especially in January, let alone the summer, a part of me does feel, man, like last year was the time to win the champs, man. Like, well, before it came crashing down against PSG, Real Madrid, the game at the Emirates, mad, like crazy. But the game at the Bernabeu was more when I was taking everything in. I was like, we're actually cold. You know what? I still believe we could have won the Premier or the champs last year, regardless of how shoddy it was. And these last 3 years, we could have, I'm exaggerating a bit, but you could have won 1 Prem, maybe retained it for the first time in my lifetime. Could have picked up a champ. Definitely should have been picking up the league and FA Cups. Just should have been winning silverware. That's where we're at now. The project is done. The process is done. The process has done what it's needed to do. We've gone from where we was in 2019 to where we are today, 2 very different realms. The project is done. The project was to get us in these scenarios, believing that we can win games and dreaming about trophies. You know, you lot see all the statistics about our football club, and we're clearly a competitive side. And when everyone cuts the crap, that's what we were designed. We're back there now. Now we're a competitive side. What the competitive sides and top teams do, you win silverware. We know we're not going to win everything any moment, but come on, man. This has been the best period during the Emirates era. Forget trophies for a second, as hypocritical as it is, in terms of a collective, competitive bunch of boys, but they ain't got the record to show it. Go and change that, innit? Go and change that. Go and change that. Go and change that. DG, my mum just got diagnosed with lung cancer. Very few things are more important than football. That's one of them. On behalf of myself and the chat, keep your mother in our prayers. I don't know what to say, man. Just thoughts with your mother. Hope she gets through this. She's gonna soldier that, man. She's gonna thump up cancer, man. Just stay strong, man. I know there's nothing I can say to console you, but your mum's gonna need you to be strong no matter how you feel, man. It's a shame, man. DG, leave the Vinny thing. Holy, man can dream, innit? I got dreams. One day we might get Vinicius Jr., Kelly Rowland might shout me. You never know, man. If you don't dream, where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna get in this life, man? You got a dream. But yeah, you said leave the Vinicius Jr. stuff alone. Apparently, he's informed Real Madrid he has no intention of signing a new contract at the club amid his current relationship with head coach Xabi Alonso. The Brazilian international has less than 2 years remaining on his deal. There has been talk about signing him to a new one. Maybe that's where these rumors come from. As exclusively revealed by the Transfers podcast back in March, Vinny has asked to become the highest paid player in the Real Madrid squad, which is a request Real Madrid are unwilling to match. He's been linked with clubs in Saudi, Chelsea, City, United, as well as us have all been linked. Apparently, the Athletic also state Vinicius has directly told Florentino Perez that signing a new deal is not the best option for him. Pardon me, it's easier said than done, man. Everyone will throw their hat into that ring to try and get him that move, to try and get him in it. This has gone one step further and said Arsenal to break bank as favourites to sign Vinny after Man United, Chelsea record offers. There might have, you never know, yeah. There might be indirect offers via third parties, but no one ain't bidded for Donny. And once again, P, prayers with you. She's got this, man. She's gonna punch up cancer, man. She's got this. She's got this. Last year we weren't prepared to win the Champions League. We weren't. Right. Because when the romance of the Real Madrid thing went, I do think when you get to the business end, you need some stardust with some individual quality. I do think it comes down to removing romance and basic competencies. And we never had the squad. One does wonder if we had the squad we had now, we still might lose to PSG. But how would we have fared? Because we all remember Marino was doing all right up front. We had to move him into the 8. Rice was finding form them times. Went from the 8 to the 6. We look like a team that's made changes. And we still had chance. We were probably still high off beating Real Madrid when we conceded at the Emirates against PSG. We started and ended the game in Paris quite well. I feel it's just we just didn't take our chances, bro, and we just never. A part of me won't forget the dying embers of that game, or like when the game's in full flow. It's like I'm looking at the boys. I'm like, man, am I trying? Like I can't accuse you lot for not standing up to be counted, but it just felt like we just don't have enough. Like we're giving our maximum. PSG are just moving mad street smart. Obviously, we conceded a silly goal from a set piece, but you get the point. But we're being linked with Vinicius once again, people. Apparently, Vinicius Jr. and Xabi Alonso's relationship is playing a major factor in his reluctance to sign a contract renewal. And that's probably why he's being linked with everybody, people. Sources close to the Brazilian have several times told The Athletic of concerns he has with Alonso, who was appointed as Carlo Ancelotti's replacement back in May. Over the first 3 months of the new season, tensions have only grown. Now it's a topic of daily debate inside and outside the club. Man United and Chelsea have submitted record offers to fend off competition for Vinicius, though there is unlikely to be any substance to these claims. The same can be said for a new report from Franchise, claiming Arsenal are the favourites to sign Vinicius and they're ready to break the bank to lure him from Real Madrid. Yeah, mate. Therefore, the possibility of Vinicius being transferred next summer is gaining traction. Numerous clubs are tracking him, notably teams from the Premier League and Saudi Arabia. There's even talk of a €1 billion offer to convince the player to stay. From England, the possibility of seeing Vinicius in the Premier League has generated a lot of excitement. Arsenal, the current Premier League leaders, are pursuing the Brazilian, who could arrive in London to become a key player for Mikel Arteta. There'll be no watch-along today, people, but I'll be live. I've scheduled it for 11:30. If I get back in time, we'll start earlier. We will have a reactionary stream and so on and so forth. And we will have a watch-along for Chelsea, Arsenal. So, yeah. Yeah, man. What else have we got? We've gone over that. I feel like there was a couple things we were going over here. No. Mateta is reportedly open to leaving Palace when his current contract expires in 2027. Anyone having Mateta? He's another one they're trying to extend to a new deal. He's been linked with AC Milan, Arsenal, and Manchester United. He's got 8 goals in 20 appearances so far this season. I wouldn't be against having Mateta in the squad, but I just think this is 100% BS. But it makes for good talking points with us people. Trying to scroll. I feel like we're missing stuff out. This has said Chelsea to go all out and try to sign Miles Lewis-Skelly. Great stuff. Chelsea journalist Simon Phillips has followed on from an early report which states that Enzo Maresca's side had completed background checks of Skelly ahead of the January window. If Lewis Skelly was to leave, surely it would be in the summer. We've got Hincapié having to deputise for Magalhaes, and we're going to have to watch Magalhaes' rehab closely. Calafiori's not put a foot wrong and doing well, but he always has that stench of injuries. Hincapié is also nursing his way back into actually playing. Yeah, it makes complete sense to get rid of Miles Lewis Skelly, because before we even consider the fact that he signed a 5-year deal, every player's got a price. Miles Lewis Skelly should be not allowed to leave under any circumstances. But Chelsea, if you want to pay an arm and a leg and give us Cole Palmer, then we can talk. And Nastavio. Someone needs to clean Saka's boots. Good article, though. Good article nonetheless. Where were we? I feel like we had something. But yeah, some of you would want Kinlan Yildiz from Juventus. Fabrizio Romano has shot down those reports, people. You're seeing a theme. Half the players we're getting linked with, they're in their last 2 years of their deals. But apart from a Semenyo, contract stuff is rumbling. So yeah, I can't believe it. But yeah, we don't even need to read this to know exactly what's said. But nonetheless, Romano says that reports anyone on behalf of was in Turin to present an offer from Arsenal for Yildiz are untrue. He says there's no offer and no negotiations, and that Juventus are confident of extending his contract. Romano does add there could be a possible assault in 2026 by the Premier League with Arsenal interested, but it's not true that anything is going on ahead of January. The Italian reiterates that Juventus are not feeling too much concern about Yildiz. He still has a contract until 2029, but they're keen to give him a salary increase as he's only, imagine that saying that, only on 1.7 million euros per season. He has stated many times that Chelsea are the club who wants to sign Yildiz the most, but he says Juventus still hold a lot of power due to his contract length. So yeah, can't read too much into that. Pep Guardiola is concerned about the team's big over-reliance on Norway striker Erling Haaland. He wants the club to consider signing Semenyo. Now he knows he has a release clause of 65 million. All right, give us Marmoush, man. Stop being greedy, man. Give us something. Big up Aubameyang. He scored a brace yesterday at 36 years of age. Has 16 goal contributions in 16 games in all comps. Let bygones be bygones. Short-term contract in January. I don't know. Harry Kane has said they've become more solid. They're more experienced, but they play similarly. I can never say that word, to how they did back then. Defensively, their structure is better. They've gained experience in the Champions League, which has made them better and helped them grow. That's why they're in the position they're in right now. It'll be a good test for us tomorrow. Two of the best teams in the world will be going at each other, and we're looking forward to this game. It'll be a good opportunity to test ourselves. Bournemouth and Ghana forward Semenyo's release clause will drop slightly from 65 million in January to a smaller figure next summer. The smaller release clause won't be below 50 million euros though. Seems like Liverpool are the most aggressive on his case. And Chelsea and Arsenal are looking to sign Marseille's French striker. I swear it's Robinho, but Robinho Vaz scored a couple goals for Marseille. Chelsea have taken the most initiative so far, opening early discussions with Vass's camp and keeping clear lines of communication with Marseille. The 18-year-old is valued between 18 and 25 million pounds. He scored 4 goals and has 2 assists for the French club this season. I feel like I've closed the tab, man. What's all this about? Tab police, look away. What's going on here? There we go. You know what? We'll just go back to where we was here. Where was it? There we go. And as well, finally, Arsenal, I'm doing a video on this. I'm doing a scouting piece, people. It should be out before Sunday. Arsenal are closely monitoring Rodrigo Mendoza, who's a right-footed left centre mid, are weighing up a potential move. The player, who has a release clause of 20 million euros, which equates to about 17 odd million pounds, is more likely to leave Elche next summer than in January, though, although a winter move cannot be ruled out. Physically, you'd need to improve. I'd be all for it. Bit of a rough diamond, if I'm honest with you. DG Arsenal is not winning the champs. Well, we did win it in May. So why can't we win it again? So yeah, man, thoughts are with you. Why can't Arsenal win the champs? And don't tell me about heritage. You have to do it once. It will happen this season or next. All you haters will be alive to witness it. Please, we need to buy the Elche kid. I hope we can, man. Again, P, we're sorry to hear about your mum. Be strong and courageous, says the Lord. Vinny doing a Neymar. Choices for Vinny are Real, Bayern, and Saudi. That's it. You can't see PSG sniffing. Don't want Vinny. Think he'll cause disruption within the squad. Nah, I'm not going to the game. Vinny ain't coming. We know we're not getting Vinny. Now, I'll be on TalkSport. we'll be on TalkSport, so we'll technically be doing a watch along. So come and join me. Drop a WDG in the chat. So yeah, man. But I'll be back at anything from 11 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. UK time, regardless of what happens in the game. I'll be here with you lot. Vinicius, the talent is a great option, but he has too much baggage associated, which would 100% ruin the team chemistry. I think buying him would be the biggest mistake Arsenal can make. Mateta on the free would be solid. Where's your comments gone? Here we go. Vinny can't handle his emotions, constantly wants to be on even when he's off. It can't, even when he's off it, can't take being a squad player. No one is trying to leave Arsenal. Zinni doesn't even want to leave. Man was happy to just be around. Cedric Suarez style players don't like leaving. Rodrigo Mendoza, I'll try to watch him in the next league game. How strong are the links though? I mean, Sam Dean of the Telegraph, gives it a bit of credibility because he doesn't tend to just speak about it. And it does make sense. He's 20 years of age. It's a low price option. Joining in, this is someone that's starting to get inroads on a consistent basis in Elche. So to ask him to come to this league and adapt mid-season, I don't know. I like his skill set. I do think he dwindles in possession. I do think he needs to improve physically just by looking at the minutes he's been exposed to and some of the goals. Like Sociedad, I think he could have done. The Sociedad game for Elche could have done better. Consistency is not going to be there, but he's a 20-year-old. Played a couple times in the second division, making inroads in La Liga, a Spanish under-21s international. 17.5 million. If he develops into, if you type his name in, you're seeing Juventus, City, Liverpool, all the big teams linked with him. Next, Pedri. If we get that out of him, we're laughing. If not, 17.5 billion. You can get rid of that in it, essentially. I like him. And to be honest, he fits the skill set of what I've been saying I want. I want another 8, like a more culturally kind of 8 to go with Rice. So you got him and Rice doing the 8 stuff. I still think there's scope for a 6. Yes, I know Norgard's there. It's not the same, but this is why the year we got Declan Rice, I wanted Lavia. Because imagine you've got this Mendoza guy, Rice, Lavia, Zubamendi. Long term, you got your Miles Lewis Skelly's there, you got your Wanyeris, whether they're going to be here or not. You got your Marinos and Kai Havertz's, you got your Norgards. I'm happy there. Eze and Odegaard, you can do things. I'm happy with our centre mid options there. Because even with us having this depth, like you still had to deal with a lot of injuries. So I think you can never have too many good players. Slightly. And I do think maybe we're 3, 4, 5, maybe even 10 years in front. But generally, with the amount of games at international level and all the games and expanded tournaments, we've gone from 3 subs to 5. Maybe we get to 6 or 7 subs. I do think there'll be a bigger bench because it's only going to get worse. The Champions League's been expanded. The Nations League has come into the mix. The Club World Cup has been expanded. There's several tournaments that have been created now and been expanded, and there's going to be no rest. The only solution is a bigger squad because we're not going to see proper breaks for these players. Don't give a monkeys about them. Don't give a monkeys. Could you imagine if you're Real Madrid or Chelsea players, other players are going to have fitness as well. But if you came off the back of a long season last year anyways, you played in the Club World Cup, you got bare football for club and country now, you got a World Cup to contend with for a month when this season's done next year. Cool, you might get 2 weeks off, but even players having break is mind games because it's more, I guess, to spend some time with your family and friends and be a normal human being and recharge a bit mentally. But we all know there'll probably be a day there with their family sightseeing. Then they're flying their personal trainers over. Then they're flying the local AstroTurf and doing shooting drills. Then they're on the treadmill. Why? Because they know they can't afford to physically be behind when pre-season starts. I watch a lot of interviews with footballers, and a lot of them say, like, there's never a good time to get injured or be behind or have any of those sort of shenanigans. But they all kind of say if there was a worse time, it's before ball's been kicked pre-season because you're now forever catch up. You're forever catching up. So yeah, man, we'll have to see. We need a left winger or an attacking player in January. Speak it into existence. I think it's not the same, but you see how this Rodrigo Mendoza guy, 20 years of age, 20 million euros, not really breaking the bank. Maybe that kind of, obviously not profile, the man's a centre mid, but that kind of profile and age range, I can only really see us kind of bringing in a winger like that, a market opportunity or whatever you want to call it. I can only really see that in January. Now, I'm not Bert. I don't work for the club. I couldn't see us buying 8 players, let alone Eze and Gyökeres and Zubamendi and everything else. So who knows what we could do. But unless it's that, I can't see us big ticket items. I know we're humouring ourselves and we all know we're not getting Vinicius in the summer, let alone January. Yes, Semenyo's release clause adds fuel to the fire. I do think there'll be some other teams that probably will go for him in January, but most teams probably have everything they need to kind of go out through the season. January is a reactive window. You're reacting to injuries and players wanting to leave and go out on loan. And if he's available for 60 and 6 months later he's available for 50, and obviously Bournemouth are going to be more open to negotiations. They've probably got their replacement for Semenyo. They're more open to how they want to tie up the deal. We know Arsenal will probably do something like, we could activate his release clause, but we're on like what we did with Zubimendi. We'll even pay you a bit more if you pattern the payments to stretch out over a long period of time. Bournemouth are not going to be on that in January. Honestly, if I'm Bournemouth, pay his release clause, our hands are tied, or F off. That's the kind of things I'll be on. So yeah, like the Rodrigos, the Viniciuses, the Semenyos, the Leaos, it's more Lookman even. Maybe there's more. Lookman's probably, because of his situation, one of the more realistic ones. I'm more than happy to speak about and entertain it with you lot. But in my opinion, people, that's as far as it goes, essentially. Richard, you're far too kind. One love for the super chat, my boy, and your consistent support, man. Appreciate you. Vinny is a hard no for me personally. His salaries and issues in the dressing room. I don't see us dipping back into the market in January unless something catastrophic happens. Even when something catastrophic happened in January of 2025, or the year we missed out on top 4 to Spurs, we didn't sign anyone. So when you've got a squad that has been coping with injuries from August up until this point, we brought in 8 players. You know, Dalman, Wanyeri, Miles Lewis-Skelly in the last year or 2 years have popped up on the scene now. You got players returning, even at Jesus, who's been linked with a move away. Injuries can strike at any time, but Jesus is coming back into it. All the other players are returning. When we needed it, we didn't buy anyone. So January is probably a myth, innit? It probably is a myth. I hear you, though. We're not going to get Vinicius anyways, but the salary, you know, when you get these players, you have to pay the big boy salary anyways, but I can't see us getting Vinicius. Obviously, we've handled new contracts for players and we brought in new players. You still have Kai Havertz's wages. You do have Gabriel Jesus's. You do even have a Trossard, who's not as much, but you have a Trossard. Technically, you've actually still got Reece Nelson on the books and Fabio Vieira on the books. I can't see us adding to that with Vinicius. In terms of quality, I understand what people are saying with the dressing room and all of these things. Pardon me, but just honestly, sit him in a room. Listen, we know this ain't Real Madrid, but don't think because it's not Real Madrid and we're not at the pinnacle, you can do any of that BS. It's more probably realistic to expect Rodrigo. But then Vinicius Jr. or Rodrigo, who are we going for? Because we're not getting either one. But people say Rodrigo's mentality differently because, you'd rather sit on the bench at Real Madrid. Would you rather someone who behaves like Vinicius or someone that behaves like Rodrigo? I might just go for Vinicius, and both of you need to start putting in performances for our country. With the greatest of respect to Martinelli, I love Martinelli, but he's done more for Brazil than both of you. And we've got a World Cup to win. My under-17s, unfortunately, went out, but we moved, man. Love for the super chats, the talking points, smashing the likes. Appreciate you, my boy, trapping with Jay. What a name. If we get him, he'll stay out there on loan. Who you referring to? PSG ain't doing any Neymar type deals. Vinny falls into that bracket. Fair. And to be fair, when they walked away from trying to do the stars thing, arguably life got better for them, innit? Football's mad because this is why people need to talk about psychologically and all the other aspects beyond just having good footballers. At one point, and it sounds surreal, PSG had Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe. They never won the Champions League. They had a bunch of kids and talented kids at that, and some talented, experienced players. And Ousmane Dembele playing as a false 9. They won the Champions League. It's funny how life works. It's just like, I always say, you can equate real life football to real life examples. We all played football in secondary school. How many times when you're playing football in PE, the best team, you might have, I don't know what you call it, but interform. Everybody's playing each other. You might have all the ballers on one team, like all the Bobby Dazzlers. You got the Jack the Lad, the Max Dowman, the Miles Lewis-Skelly looking guy, the Saka, the big African you, big them up, like you just move into everyone. He looks like he's 20 and we're all 13. You've got all them youths in one team, but they don't win it. They don't win it. It's the team where people work together and they're more like these lot are 10 out of 10, a collection of 10 out of 10 ballers. These lot are 5, 6 out of 10 and they win. So yeah, man, you need ego in football. You need ego, but you need to have the ability to put your ego before you need to put the collective before the ego. Some players will bring bad blood wherever they go. Semenyo is the one who will give us that firepower we've been looking for. Vinny is a no for his ego, sadly. We need to sell to bring anyone new at this point. I hear it. Sup, bro? Hope you're good. Appreciate you. Do you think it's necessary to rest a few players tonight's game? Nah, man. Nah, bro. Nah, strongest team got there. I don't think everyone's got 90 minutes. I don't think Timber's got 90 in him. Be interested to see with Hincapié because he's nursing a groin. Calafiori the same. And obviously, you'd love to at least, regardless of what happens, don't have to be all of them, but Martinelli, Madueke, Odegaard, to see them play at least half an hour, 20 minutes. So the bench is going to be needed. He is okay, more like a slow Zubamendi. If we're serious about Mendoza, we'll get him regardless of other big clubs. Bring me the Spanish ballers. I hear it. I'm not willing to lose Ethan, man. Sell Odegaard next season so he can play more. It might have to be a loan thing. Don't think we'll buy anyone in Jan. We've already got a strong squad. Unless it's a market opportunity or something that's too good to turn down and it's falling on our laps, I can't see it. I couldn't tell you who, but there might be a Trossardy kind of deal because Trossard's contract was running out, got into beef with De Zerbi, kind of fell into our lap after we didn't get Mudryk. January is a reactive window. Unless it's something too good to turn down or an opportunity to exploit, you're not going to see signings. And no manager, managers want to sign players all the time, innit? But no club wants to do business in January because ideally you would have done everything in the summer. There's no injuries. Everyone's happy about their lack of football. Even like a contract might be running out. You might want to sell someone in Jan so they don't leave for free. You ain't got none of those things. Not saying we do, but you get the point. So yeah, man. Going forward with purchases, key players at the right price and guys to replace what we have in 2-3 years is where I'm at. Wages are getting close to ridiculous. It has to be managed. Bert's going to have an eye on that, man. Rafa Leao and Vinny bring the same issue to a Prem team. No defensive work. I think Leao's more willing to buy into it. I think with Leao, his biggest problems are psychological. And I think the penny's dropping because he said something in his interview, which I've always maintained. I've always felt Leao, he's got talent. He's strong. He's fast, skillful. Bobby Dazzler can play up front, can play left wing. But I'm not interested with the party tricks. You've got great party tricks. You're great 1v1. Consistency. And you need to be a bit like Saka and Salah in that you just need goals. And he's kind of echoed similar in an interview. So I'm for that. In terms of defensiveness, it's not that you can't do it. Can you buy into it? Because every Arsenal player buys into it. Like you can run around and track back and stuff. You've got to want to buy into it, which I don't have problems about Leao with that. It's more just consistency. I'm not interested in you've been, there's been 5 games where you've been great and then the next 6 you've been inconsistent or 90 minutes you've been rubbish, but you've had like 10 minutes of brilliance. Obviously, that's what the best players do, but I just think Leao's too much flash in the pan, but there's something there. Bring me Leao. If we get Leao, has to stay on loan. Wouldn't be against that. Go get some minutes in under the belt, do your thing. You come back in the summer. Well, you join us in the summer. Because even that, you go and get Mendoza. Bro, yeah, social joins, shout, because who the hell makes the bench? We all know there's injuries and all of that kind of jazz, but imagine you throw Mendoza in there. You got Dalman, you got Wanyeri, you got Miles Lewis-Skelly, players that could be on the bench, Madueke, Martinelli at this moment in time, Odegaard, and Gabriel Jesus, insert player I've missed here, people, man. Just passing through. Later on, DJ, I'm going to spin the block for Bayern. Bless. Appreciate you, man. Wages are not ridiculous. Taxes are. Hence, higher salaries for sport business. System created this. Fair. All I want Arsenal to do is tie Timber and Saka. Don't need anyone in January. Got a strong enough squad to win things this season and got great chemistry. Appreciate you, man. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what we do, man. It really will. You just never know in this life. But yeah, I agree with what Richard is saying here. We probably will need a sell, and I'm not saying these guys will be sold. Clearly, Arteta likes Kai Havertz, and we know we need a squad. But if you could bring in someone that could fill Kai Havertz's role on significantly less wages, and you remember Sammy Motbell did say Kai Havertz does have a little bit of interest from German clubs. Is that one? I don't believe Odegaard should be sold, but people might say, you know what, Odegaard's on big money. The system don't wait for no one. Trossard and Martinelli, Martinelli not so much because he's been injured, but Trossard and Martinelli, I don't think they've ever been as close to leaving as the media says, but it does feel like for the right price, you might be able to go. And who knows, had we have brought in a left winger, if we did try to sign one in the summer, where would you be at with that? But the club, assuming Trossard even continues his form right now to the end of the season, and Martinelli, the club might say, do you know what, 12 months ago, we weren't in this position to sell one of those. Do we sell one of those? I'm not saying to sell Mikel Merino, but the Mikel Marinos, these kind of guys get sold. You free up a bit of wages. There's no point talking about Reece Nelson and Fabio Vieira. We all know their days need to be numbered. So it'd be interesting to see not just what we do this season, but seasons moving forward. Who's out there like Rice? Don't know. But if we find him, imagine having 2 of Declan Rice. We have to cut salary, not sell. If there's any sell, it's Jesus. Jesus, forgotten man, you'll have to forgive me. Another one. But is he going to get sold in January? Who's going to be flooding with offers? I'm sure people like the illusion of Gabriel Jesus, quality player, technical, versatile, all that stuff. But then you look at the wages might not be as much as Arsenal, but you're going to have to pay him handsomely, and you're going to have to maybe give Arsenal a fee. And he's coming back from an ACL injury, a second ACL. So if anything, do you not just try and pay some of his wages, get him on loan and take it from there? You want to probably see how Gabriel Jesus kind of recovers and prolonged fitness, because even when he got the latest injury, man, he was working his way back. He did well against Palace, and we're at with him. Who do you think is starting up top on Sunday? Gyökeres. But he's not fit. So I'm just chatting really and truly. So I'm not sure. We've been here for an hour though, folks. And I just want to give you a short break, because at 2 p.m. I'm going to have a menu. Keep your conversations flowing. Bring some questions in. Most importantly, appreciate you lot for your consistent support, whether you're a member, you're a mod. Richard for the super chat. Obviously, our thoughts are with P and what he said about his mother. We're praying and keeping toes and everything crossed for you. Without you lot, it'd be dead, man. So I hope you lot are doing well and safe. I appreciate you lot. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't. Road to 100K is still alive and kicking. I'm back online at 2 p.m. with Amenya, and then anything from 11 to 11:30 p.m. to talk about whatever happens with Bayern, and then attention will switch towards Chelsea. But on that note, one love.